folks. Welcome back to yet another episode of Fresh Juice, an indie game podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tommy Fresh, and joined as always, it is...
It's Matty Juice. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fresh Juice podcast.
Cast. We got a good episode for you all today. It's a game talk week, just chilling. We've been playing some other games that we're not reviewing per se. There's quite a few notable releases this week we'll be talking about, and some news, and then some listener questions, and then we'll say goodbye just before we go to the rec room, whatever. But it's going to be a good one. What's new? What's been going on with you?
Yeah, let's see. I think the left part of my headphones. Wait, talk for a second.
Oh, yeah,
it's working. Yeah, I don't know. I guess my ears are just popping or something weird. But let's see. This past weekend, what did I do? I've been playing a lot of Winrows. On Saturday, we went to me and Lady Juice and Baby Juice went to my grandmother-in-law, I guess, or whatever. So it was like an hour and a half away. It was a great time. Baby Juice did good with everything. And then when I got home on Saturday, I had a kind of a big block of time to play Winrose because I was making a bunch of content. I've been posting it on the YouTubes and everything, so I'm sure if you guys are following over there, you might have seen it. But Jester also had a campaign with Winrose, so I was kind of making videos as well for that reason. But it's been going really well. Been having a lot of fun playing the game and also making content for it. So always love when these kind of perfect storms sort of happen with the survival genre. So I've been playing a lot of that. Sunday, what did I do Sunday? We have to, Baby Juice probably needs like a helmet. I think we were talking about that maybe last week. Yep. So we went and like kind of got her fitted for it. She's going to wear it for like a little bit, but, we got a light pink color helmet,
Nice.
So there we go. They had a bunch of patterns. They have like you can get like blue jeans patterned as the helmet, which is like
interesting,
kind of weird, I guess, but they have like a ton, like you could just choose whatever. But we just went with the pink, so did that, and then we're just kind of hanging out at home, making some more content. I showed Lady Juice the Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle for the first time, which is like not the best movie, but it was just like a fun. I was like, I don't know. I showed her like a clip of it that was funny, and she's like, "Oh, I've never seen that." I'm like, "I'm getting it right now. We're gonna watch it." And she thought it was a fun watch, and definitely like a random one, but also cool because Cal Penn is from the area, right? And cool to we were talking a little bit about him and all that, even though he's older than us, but so did a little bit of that, and then really just honestly the weekend kind of flew by, just like doing stuff around the house, seeing family, and then just playing some Winrows. I got like 25 hours in the game so far. And we'll talk a little bit about it later. But I think that's everything going on in my world. I've also been playing a little Skull Horde too. I know we'll talk about what we've been playing, but play a little bit more of that. So but what about you? How's everything going on? How's everything going?
Nice. I had a busy week. First of all, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle's got some gems in it. It's a probably, I haven't watched it in a long time, but it's probably a little bit dated at this point. But the moment where I forget his name. He's from Blackish and Kangaroo Jack.
Anthony something.
Anthony something. Yeah. But when he's working the drive-through, he's like,
that's the clip I showed her. To get
wanna burn this mother.
Come on, Pookie.
Just such gold. I love that scene. But
he's like, you sure there's no other White Castles? Do I look like the type of brother that wouldn't know the answer to that question. Anyway, yeah, it's just that's a very funny
Oh,
scene. And then obviously, like she was just so in awe of like Neil Patrick Harris's character.
oh
She was like, "What is he
yeah,
doing?" I was like, "I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
He's just nuts."
I think that was before he came out too, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly, or right around when he did, and that might have been part of the joke. But
yeah,
yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy movie, but yeah, busy week. I was like running nonstop with some work stuff last week, and it was successful and stuff like that, but like I was like zonked by the end of the week. And then we had a window party. Our friend Matt and his wife just got new windows, so they're like, come on over, everybody, we're having a party, which is kind of like a housewarming that they never really had, but like but we had been over there plenty of times since then, since they moved in. But like it was fun. My friend Matt, and
yeah.
he's
How are the
he's a
windows?
they look nice.
They
They
look
look
good.
nice.
Yeah,
They
they're
look
clear.
nice. So
Yeah, it's good.
yeah, I could see right through them.
Yeah.
And uh, now our windows, we've had to put up decals on our windows to stop the bird from attacking our house.
Really? What kind of decals? Like is it like an owl or
They
something?
no, they just look like leaves because
Mm.
like it just like distracts. You hear them sometimes, but it's not all day like it was. So it's crazy. But anyway,
Mm.
window party was fun. Got to hang out. I brought a keg, which is cool. Hooked that up. So actually, it reminds me I got to clean my jockey box, but that'll be later this week. What else did we do? Geez, yesterday I was gonna do a bunch of yard work, and then it rained, so we kind of just chilled, and we went to Wegmans. Wegmans is just like, if you don't know, it's one of the best grocery stores in the area, in the Northeast. So we did some shopping there. One of our cousins works there, but we didn't see her. But that was cool. And then last night, I could not sleep. Right, I had this like really bad, like, I don't know if it's like acid reflux, or like just like gas pains or something. I was so gassy, so I was just up till 4 in the morning, and I was like just playing Balatro on my phone to just try to like tire myself out and go to sleep.
Mhm.
And it was probably about like 2 a.m. Right, and we had heard this noise before in our room before, but only once before, and it sounded like a scroll wheel, kind of like a
Okay.
really tiny one, just like little tiny clicks.
Okay.
And at first, the first time it happened, I thought it was my play date, my like little, because that's what it will sound like sometimes when you do the crank.
Mhm.
But my play date didn't have any battery this time, so I was like, "What's going on?" Lady Fresh is like passed out, so I'm just like, and I'm wide awake. So I like turn on my phone light. I'm listening for it. I don't know where it is, and then I see a spider crawling on the floor, and that's where the noise was coming from. It was making little clicky noises.
Was it
So
a
I had
big
to.
one?
I mean, it
Would
wasn't
I be
huge.
terrified?
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the smaller ones could be scarier sometimes, right?
Maybe. Maybe. Not
It
for
was
me.
it was it was not like oversized. It was not.
Okay.
It was just regular house spider. But
So, did you kill it or move it?
yeah, I killed it. I killed it.
Okay.
But I guess like I was, since I was already up, I was like, oh well, start googling why this spider was making noise, and apparently some species will do clicks like that when they're trying to mate,
Oh,
or
so
like
it was actually. I was thinking it was it walking was making that sound. It
no,
was
it was
actually
making.
wow. So
Yeah.
you've been hearing that like
I only heard it one other
randomly?
time,
Okay.
but usually it was like late the last time, so like it could be just happening while I'm sleeping,
Yeah.
right? And like that spider was just around, just like going, like for you know.
That
But,
must mean there might be some others around that it's
oh,
looking
we
to
have
mate
tons
with.
here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of spiders, but like I don't know what it is. Like wherever I live, it's just spiders galore. But
Yeah. Well,
it is
maybe,
what it is.
they speak to you. Maybe they were looking
Yeah,
to mate with you.
maybe,
Maybe.
And a good place to do that would be the Fresh Juice Discord, folks. If anybody wants to join, it's free for anybody to join, spiders included. So
Yeah.
check it out.
If you're
Eight
listening.
legs, eight members. So check that out. It's in the show notes below. But we got a great episode, and we're gonna kick it off with a banger with Maddie's juicy take of the week.
Yes. So my juicy take, I don't know how juicy it is,
Mm-hmm.
but after playing a lot of Winrows this past weekend, it got me thinking that more MMOs should pivot their strategy, their gameplay to be like PvE co-op games because that's what happened with Winrose. For those that don't know,
Mm.
it started as another game called Crosswind that was supposed to be this big pirate MMO, and they're a small indie studio. So they pared down their vision after I guess realizing it's too ambitious, and they ended up just making a PvE survival game, and they've sold over 1 million copies, I think, in the first week.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like a lot of people are really loving it. It's getting great reviews, and it's in early access. It's only about 50% done from what the devs have told me. So I think that this is like a proof of concept where we've seen MMOs fail time and time again, whether it's failing before they even launch, failing years after they launch, or just not having a successful launch in general. I think more MMOs should pivot to still be great experiences, but MMOs are really hard. I mean, we just saw everything that happened with Ashes of Creation, where that was in development for years, ended up just fizzling out basically, and just not kind of going the way some of the early skeptics thought it was going to go, and ended up being true. So I just think, I think of games like New World, which is like kind of a survival MMO, and like, man, if that was just a survival game where I could just party up with friends and go play it, that would be amazing. Um, and I think that Winrose is potentially showing the rest of the industry that, hey, you can make this massive pivot with your game and it can pay off in dividends. Not only because obviously I think the pirate genre we kind of been a little starved with the pirate genre for a while. I mean, we've really only
Mm-hmm.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag. There was, Sea of Thieves, kind of a different, almost like more like a role play kind of pirate game in a way. And then Skull and Bones was just, kind of fell flat. And they invested hundreds of millions of dollars in that. So I think my juicy take is just more MMOs should not be MMOs. They should
Mm.
pivot to be a pared down version of that vision, and then maybe even eventually build up to being an MMO, if that makes sense, if that's even possible. But yeah, so that's my juicy take. I just think that there are some great MMOs out there that aren't realized to be great as a whole, but people love certain sections of that MMO, and like
Mm.
those sections should just be a game on its own, basically, is what I'm kind of thinking. But anyway, what do you think about that?
I think that's a fair take. I think the issue with MMOs, because you can probably have a great one right on your hands, it's just hard to break into it, like to get the player base and et cetera, et cetera. Because like when you think about it, the competition with MMOs has to be a little bit different than like a roguelike, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, well, I played a ton of Hades. I'm ready for another one, right? It's not like, I don't think that happens a lot with like World of Warcraft. You're like, well, I just play WoW. That's what
Yeah.
I play. And I think that because of that, like even if you have an amazing MMO, it's hard to do it. It feels a lot like trading card games personally because Flesh and Blood is a game that is rare in the fact that it broke into a larger player base because it was Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and that was it, kind of the big three. And then you
Yeah.
got like a couple of random anime games like One Piece. But these other companies try to make new card games all the time to try to break in, and like you got to be a big enough IP or a good enough game to take away the player base from different games,
Yeah.
right? Because they're going to be playing probably one or the other, and maybe sometimes both, right? It's not. I think like MMOs have to be like that. Also, another thought, MMO. They kept saying it. I kept thinking, what if that was like an Oreo with M&Ms inside? An
Oh,
MMO,
it's an MMO.
an M&MO.
I like it. Or maybe
Okay.
it's an Oreo with Eminem's face on the cookie. It's an
Ooh.
MMO. MMO. Yeah. Hey, that is a juicy take right there. Um, no, but
Next time I pass the M&M factory, I'm gonna pop it.
okay.
I'm making a pop
All
in.
right. Next time I pass the Oreo factory, I'll do the same thing. Um,
I
what
think
I wonder.
Nabisco's up in Jersey too,
Yeah, I was
right?
wondering where they are. Yeah, that's good.
M&M's in Hackettstown. It's not far from me, but
Cool.
or it's very far from me. If anybody wants to dox me,
Um, but yeah, no, I think the MMOs, like, they try to please everybody, and especially now, I mean, a lot of the games we review, right? It's like blending of genres.
yeah,
There's like plenty of survival games I've played that have MMO like features, right? Or like plenty of MMOs that I've played that have features of like other kind of games. And everything's kind of blending together. And I just feel, narrow your focus, and not saying that that's going to easily equal success, but because there's a lot of things about Winrose that also make it really successful, but they would have never even been close to that success if they didn't pivot in the first place. So yeah, but there we
can
go.
I
Yeah,
can I throw something out here?
sure.
Thinking of blending genres, getting MMO like to be like successful. Like we don't think it will be, right? Because that was your take. But what if like let's take Hades for example, right? Hades, you're playing like single player Hades, but anytime you're in a shop area or in the base area, it's MMO and you see other people, you can be like
Yeah,
mid game start trading like gear
yeah,
and stuff like that. And then you're like, all right, well, I'm going back off into the single player part of this game. That'd be
yeah.
so
That's
much fun.
that's like what I yeah. That's kind of what I mean. Is like that's like these MMO like features. Like even in like No Man's Sky, right? You're the infinite universe. You're kind of playing solo unless you're like partied up with someone. But then there are things in these solar systems that you can visit where there's a bunch of other players there. It's a big lobby. And like that is like you can trade with them. They just introduced actually like Pokemon battles, basically, where creatures
Whoa.
you collected on different planets, you can battle each other. We'll see if they get sued. But um, yeah, things like that are, I think, make all the difference, because there are. I feel like most people. I know this is a really long take, but I feel like most people that play MMOs, and maybe it's just from my experience and with our kind of friend group, but I just want to play with my friends. I could care less about playing with random people that I've never, met, like partying up with them. Maybe there's some people, maybe that's the allure for most like traditional MMO players, is that they want a big city that's filled with, a bunch of random people. For me, I just want to I really don't care if there's other players in like the city or whatever. I just want to play with my friends when they're online. But there are those small moments as well where it's like it is cool to see everyone gathered at once, but I'm not like making friends with these people or like being like, "Hey, join my guild" or anything like that. But anyway, yeah, I just Winrose got me thinking, because I was like, man, I could have never, like, this game might have not existed, right? Um,
Yeah.
at all if they didn't decide to pivot. And they're a small studio, like that's a big deal for them. I'm sure they had like funding, that was banking on them being an MMO. I'm sure they had to convince a lot of people that this was the right move, and it's paying off for them.
Yeah. I love to see it. You mentioned you had keys, but I'm not. It's not my kind of game. But I've been watching the content you've been making, and it looks cool. Pirate stuff is fun. I did like some Sea of Thieves back in the day. So, yeah, pretty neat. Now, what have you been playing? You've been playing Winrose, and you
Yeah.
said you've also been playing some Skull Horde.
Yeah, played a little Skull Horde on the Thor.
Oh,
Test
how'd it go on the Thor?
Yeah, it works well. I mean, there's like small things where like obviously the text is a little small sometimes,
Hmm.
things like that, or you got to use the D-pad instead of the analog stick. But once you're actually like in the run playing, it's works exactly kind of how you would expect it. Um, so that was good. Yeah, playing some more of that. I also been playing continued my Gauntlet run, which, by the
Ooh,
way, this is probably niche for the listeners, but I for some reason I don't remember the first boss of Gauntlet. Like I
the
went to go
Lich?
fight. No, it wasn't the Lich King. It was
Really?
or it was
Or is the dragon?
wait, hold on a second. It was like a dude. Is he
Yeah,
the Lich King?
the Lich or whatever. He's like he does like a spinny move.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Gauntlet. I'm gonna just Google this real quick.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Lich, and then in the
Oh,
Mountain
it
Realm,
is
it's
the Lich. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
For some reason,
yeah,
I didn't remember that he looked like that. I guess because I was like, "Who is this?"
yeah.
And I was totally not ready for it. I ended up dying, but because it's hard solo, you really got to
Oh
like
yeah,
grind
yeah.
some of the levels,
Uh huh.
beforehand. But I was playing
Sometimes you got to go
some
back.
Gauntlet. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to go back and level up a little bit. But been playing some of that. A little bit of a little Ocarina, little Twilight Princess
Ooh.
as well, which has been good. And then also played booted up the Switch too. Played a little Mario Kart World with
Hell
Lady
yeah, hell
Juice.
yeah.
So that was a fun time. That game, I mean, Knockout Tour again, like one of the best
So much
modes
fun.
I think they've ever added. And even just like playing online is just complete mayhem. So yeah, good time with that. But haven't really been playing a lot outside of that.
It's a
Um,
decent amount. That's a decent amount.
yeah, yeah, I do. I mean, I have a few demos I want to hop into, but I want to talk about them yet because I haven't had time to hop in. But and then of course, Slay the Spire 2 is something I want to continue playing. But I know some of the guys have been playing that, so I've been watching them play on Discord and stuff like that.
Yeah, I always feel bad. Like our buddy Kevin had like I guess requested that I join and play, and like I never see
Oh,
Steam notifications until like the
yeah.
next day for some reason. So I was probably playing on the deck, on the Steam Deck in my room. But what have I been playing? I got Soul Sesto
Yeah.
and been playing that. It's very fun. It's very weird.
Cool.
I definitely recommend people check it out. If you think that like games that I like, you like, play Soul Sesto for sure. I played through a decent amount, about 2 hours of Replaced.
Oh, nice.
The yeah, which I am loving. I can't wait to hop back in and because I just finished like the prologue and then the first chapter. Just a stunning game, and the combat is like just like Arkham games, which I
Mm,
love. It's like some of my like the best feeling combat I've ever had in like in a video game was like Arkham City. So like
yeah.
just kind of getting a little taste of that, and this game has been cool. And yeah, I've been on the OG Animal Crossing grind as well. You know, paying off my debts.
Yeah.
Just bought some turnips yesterday, so I gotta check the prices probably after I'm done here, and see if I got them at a pretty good price. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But
Now
yeah,
there's no you can't visit other people's islands for the turnip
no,
prices. So
you
you're
can't.
stuck with that price, you know?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
But
Stakes are high.
yeah, it's a real gamble. So yeah, that's what I've been playing mostly. I mean, I think the highlight for me this week has been Soul Sesto because it's just so wacky, so weird, and I don't think I've ever played anything like it,
Hmm.
honestly, which is really cool. And I'm guessing that I think I read somewhere that this developer actually I should bring it up. Also used to make like mobile games, perhaps, that like
Okay.
all had that similar vibe. Let's see, developed by I don't know, Tambuli. Is
So
that
Sesto.
who it is? Solcesto.
Yeah, Tim Booley. Looks like there's 3 developers listed.
But yeah, I guess they all work on the same games. So yeah, I mean it's been cool. So yeah, check it out. Basically, it's this kind of like a weird like gambling roguelike in a way.
Hmm.
And you have to choose. There's a grid of, and if you're watching on the YouTube, um, there's a grid of 4 spaces. It's a 4x4 grid, and you choose one of the rows to like basically go into, and you have a 1 in 4 chance of going to each one of the slots. So some slots will have like
Hmm.
health, or some slots will have like like treasure, and then some slots will have like monsters, but like you have certain stats that beat those monsters, and then there'll be monsters that will deal damage to you. So you have to make like kind of like choices, like you're gambling, but then you can like upgrade your attraction to certain slots, right?
Hmm.
So you can be like, oh, now I have, like, if you see there, I have an attraction, less attraction to magic monsters, and but also I get less attraction to strawberries or something like that. So it's really wacky. It's like
Yeah.
it's hard to explain this game, but it feels like a fever dream, and
Going
it's a
through
lot
these
of fun.
screenshots has me going like one of them. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get it. And the next screenshot, I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, it's insane. The game is
Like, what
insane.
is this? I don't even know what this is.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. I haven't gotten to that.
Yeah. That's I have this game too. I just haven't played it yet. But how is the like is the art style, does it get, because it's very busy, obviously. Do you think it's well
Yeah.
done where it's like you don't think it's too distracting? Like it fits nicely, with the
It took
mechanics
me
and
like
everything?
a couple screens to just understand what's going on, but then you're just like, all right.
Okay.
And like the boss battles are really funny and weird and strange.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bizarre game. It's like so unique in so many ways. So I
Cool.
recommend it for sure.
Yeah, $9 right now too. So
Yeah, it's a
for the
great
next few
deal.
days. So yeah, I'll have to try it out. Have to check it out.
Yeah, do it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a nice one that like you can. It's from Goblins, and they do
yeah,
some great games too.
they Hold the Mine they publish. That's where I know them
Hold the
from.
Mind, Shogun Showdown is a great game as well.
Yeah, Runeborn. Heard of that one.
Runeborn's fun. Yeah, that one was cool.
Yeah.
They've made a ton of games,
It's
but
kind of wild actually to see, like, I mean, they have, yeah, 2 different publishers for this. I thought it was going to be 3 because the devs are
oh yeah,
3, but um, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So
yep.
sesto.
Solstice, yeah. No clue. I mean, I guess soul means sun, and then like you kind of are filling up your sun at one point. So maybe that's what it means. But either either way, your sun like the star.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
All
Making
right, let's talk
sure.
about. Listen, let's move on. Let's talk about some notable releases this week. First one is a big one that we'll be reviewing next week, and it's Vampire Crawlers. Yes, that's right. The Turbo Wildcard from Vampire Survivors, the deck builder that I played a lot of the demo, and I imagine I'll be playing a lot of this full game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I really enjoyed the demo for this too. I didn't want to play too much of it because I knew we'd be playing it for the show. I and didn't realize it was coming out already. I think we talked about this before
mm,
the show a little bit, but they announced it like a month ago. The date. I also never realized that the Turbo Wildcard from Vampire Survivors is part of the title.
yeah,
Like actually, I just figured it was just the tagline for the trailer or whatever. But I guess they want people to know it's related to Vampire Survivors. But yeah, excited to hop into this one. It looks like it's releasing it's a full release too. It won't be just early access, which is exciting.
Sweet,
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah, I mean, I guess like part of this game is probably like you want to do like insane stuff. So like the balancing, I don't know how much. I mean, I'm sure they put some effort into balancing, but like they also want people to do crazy combos and
Yeah.
kind of like how Vampire Survivors is. You want to fill the whole screen basically. So
Yeah. Yeah.
should be
Cool.
interesting. Bylena, what is this game?
Yeah, I saw this one. It actually just came out today, the day of recording on the 20th. And it's got very positive reviews. It is like a an action adventure game that's rooted in the Slavic folklore, and it just
Well,
honestly, like the art style, everything just seemed really cool. It kind of almost had like a comic booky kind of, like some little animations here and there, but it just looked like a really cool game. Kind of this top down isometric like dungeon crawlery vibe, but with these really um interesting like drawn animations on top of like 3D models. So it seemed
yeah.
really cool. So I think that this is actually part of the game too. I don't think it's like just for the trailer, but it just seemed like a really unique way to kind of do their art style. So I want to shout them out a little bit. Bylena. That's
I also
Bylina, by the way.
I like the
Yeah.
Ace Ventura when nature calls reference in the trailer. I don't know if you caught that.
Was it the arrow in the leg?
Yeah, to get the
Yeah.
in both legs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I did not realize that at first, but now that you say it, yeah. Um, but
Yeah, this looks cool.
looks cool. Yeah, yeah.
Sweet. What about Typing Farmer? What is Typing Farmer?
This one actually, because I usually look at the like how many follows the game has every games have every week. This was at the top of the list with the most follows. And again, it's another one of those games that's kind of like on your desktop, and all your every keystroke is like changing something in the game. And so this is like every key you press is like farming, and it shows a keyboard that's kind of like a farm. So I guess maybe based on the keys that you're hitting is what's happening to those specific keys. So kind of a little bit of a different approach where it's like your keyboard is alive in the game. Not it's got positive reviews right now. I don't think it's something that I'm gonna be playing. But I just want to call it out because it's another one of those games. I feel like that's something we're gonna see throughout the year where it's like this desktop companion game that you're not really playing, you're just doing other things on your computer, and then things are happening in the game. So yeah, Typing Farmer.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. I wonder, how much typing is the average worker doing these days? I mean, I guess like if you're coding, you're going to be typing a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're like, just somebody who's on Teams, you're just like, hey, LOL, on it.
Yeah.
Know,
Well, even if
so
you're coding these days, you might just be talking to an AI.
yeah, true,
You'd be
true.
like, I'm gonna actually write this so my farm grows.
Yeah.
Like that. But
Interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
no, interesting concept. Yeah, I mean, like I'm not on my computer enough to ever probably want to have this, but
yeah,
obviously, people there's a niche here, so
yeah. And I
pretty interesting.
I feel like I don't know for sure. I haven't looked into this, but these types of games probably started popping up when most people went remote, right? With
Hmm.
like COVID. But so I feel like, they had a lot of follows, and I'm sure people, a lot of people will try this out. But I'm curious if any of these games will ever like stick, where it's gonna be like, oh, like someone like you would
Yeah.
download it and have it, right? So yeah, I don't know, but just want to call it out because I'm just always so surprised. I'm like, wow, that many people. It had like 28,000 follows on Steam, which like who follows people
That's
on Steam? First off, I mean,
yeah.
I don't ever do that, but it's just yeah, surprising. So I wish it success.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, maybe if there was a mobile version that's like kind of running in the background, that'd be kind of neat, but
Oh yeah, that's another
um
idea. Every tap grows your
yeah.
farm. Yeah.
Next game is a game I saw coming out, I think tomorrow. Factory 95, which just looked kind of fun. I don't, it's you got. Well, it's not. What was it? Clippy
Yeah, Clippy.
from yeah. Basically, it's like a weird crafting like factory builder where you're doing stuff in like MS-95 programs, which is I don't know, kind of cool. We've seen I feel like a couple of these pop up every once in a while. These like kind of retro
Yeah.
like OS kind of like take spins. I don't even know what you call it, but yeah, it kind of looked fun. I don't know. I do miss what was his name Clippy?
I think it was Clippy. Yeah,
Clippy.
like a paper clip or
Yeah, I
Clippy.
used to talk to Clippy more than a child should. I think I was like, it's
Maybe
like I
that's
don't
what you.
have it.
That's your desktop companion. You get like an AI Clippy. You be like,
Oh
"Hey,
my
Clippy,
god.
how you doing?" And he just comforts you. You know.
Yeah. Well, I just like to I like to make them like change into different shapes and stuff like that. I
Oh
remember,
yeah, yeah,
normal stuff like that.
yeah.
Um,
This is cool though.
but
This game. It's I think a lot of people, from what I know, because I've made a few games or a few videos on games that have like automation, kind of factory automation, and I always compare it to like Satisfactory and Factorio.
hmm
And people are always like, it's nowhere close. Like they just defend those two games like crazy, but especially Factorio is like
Oh yeah.
that is held up as like the greatest, automation factory game that's ever existed. So when I see games like this, that's immediately what I think of is, oh, I wonder how people are going to compare this to Factorio. But yeah, these like Windows 95, like this aesthetic, I'm always drawn to it. There's even like some streamers I follow where or at least in the past, like their stream aesthetic is like Windows 95, and I'm always like, that's so cool. But it's probably just a nostalgia thing for me. Like I'm sure most people don't care, but I always like when games do this and kind of lean into that. So yeah, it's kind of interesting too. It says build PowerPoint factories. So is everything you're
Yeah.
doing in here just to make a presentation?
Yeah, making files and just shipping them
Yeah.
out, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's interesting.
it
It's
is.
funny. It's like that game Forbidden Solitaire that I played the demo a decent amount
Yeah.
of. Like it takes place on a desktop of like Windows XP, and you don't realize how much that feels retro at this point. Which
Yeah.
in my mind, it was still like the best Windows operating system.
Yeah.
So
It is.
it might
I
it might
agree.
still be.
I mean, if I could, I would make my computer just look like Windows XP. Um,
It was clean. It
yeah,
was nice.
yeah, better than Vista. All right, the days of
Ugh.
Vista, but
Ugh.
uh, and anything better is better than Windows 8, which was like
Oh,
they did
was
like
that after XP?
yeah, it was like Windows 7 and then Windows 8 was it was like that's where they started introducing like the tiles, like the live tiles, and like everything was like a
Oh.
tile. It's kind of still exists in Windows today, sort of. And
Oh, I
I
had a
just hated
Windows
that.
Phone then.
Yeah.
And that whole operating system was the weird like multicolored tiles.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like I always just reverted back to Windows 7. But yeah, yeah, cool stuff. We're just dating ourselves talking to
Yeah,
the
it's all right.
listeners
We're
here.
old.
Yeah.
Unks, a bunch of unks on the
Bunch of
internet.
unks. Yeah.
Yeah. Some news this week. I do want to talk about one thing before we get to what you posted here, but
Yeah.
we talked about a game that was coming out last week, Mouse PI for Hire,
Yes.
and I just saw that there was some controversy on the internet about
Ooh.
IGN's review of the game. Now, IGN gave it a 6. But one of the reasons that they said was they had too much killing in a
Oh, I
first
saw that.
person. Yeah, which I thought that was very, very too many cheese references is also hilarious. Um, I don't understand what is going on with this review because I mean, somebody said that the person who wrote it typically has decent reviews, but maybe they're being facetious because I don't really pay attention to who's doing reviews over at IGN. And listen, I'm not the end all be all of reviews over here either,
Yeah.
but it is very funny of the nitpickiness of what was going on with this.
I just think it's so. I did see this. I forgot to save it, but I did see it. I how why do you even mention how many like there's too many cheese references? Like it doesn't even make sense. Like how does that
It's
affect the game at all?
it's a mouse game.
Yeah, and it's the main character. It's got mouse in the title. It's just ridiculous. I did. Yeah, I did see this. I also saw there was more IGN controversy around Winrose too because of their review, where like the title
Oh.
of it was like I played Winrose and decided to reinstall Sea of Thieves, and like they start out the review by saying they don't like survival games. It's like, well, why are you the one reviewing Winrose? Like, what is going on at
Yeah.
IGN?
That'd be like me reviewing it.
Yeah, it's like what
Yeah.
they chose the wrong person, which I feel like sometimes is the issue with these reviews. You mentioned
Mm-hmm.
that typically the person for Mouse PI for Hire has good reviews, but or respected reviews, but they're yeah, this is like wild. It's like they were trying to take this game super seriously, and it's like, well, look at it. It's not. It's supposed to be like a satire on
Yeah.
like
Steamboat Willie,
yeah,
but
like
a private investigator.
yeah, like the noir stuff. Yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. And honestly, I think, for a while, I feel like a lot of people kind of put IGN as something that they don't take as seriously anymore. But there's still plenty of people that like that's their main source because they're the biggest review site out
Mm-hmm.
there, right? They've established themselves as like a pillar. For me, like I used to look at IGN reviews a little bit, more seriously, where to get like an opinion on a game. Oh, this game got a 10. Like I'll look further into it. But honestly, I and you might not like me for saying this, but I stopped caring that much about IGN reviews when they gave Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter like a 5 out of 10, but I was like, this movie was awesome, and I
That's a
know
long time ago.
I
That's
know,
like,
and that's when I was like, screw IGN. I'm not gonna, I'll take their reviews with a grain of salt. So, yeah, it just, people still get all up in arms about it, which unfortunately gets IGN more clicks, right?
yeah, yeah. Almost
But
feel like that
yeah,
this is what they want.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't know. And, for me personally, I think we've had these questions before of like, how do we, judge whether we want to play a game or not? There's creators I follow that I know have similar tastes to me. That's who I listen to. I don't, I
Mm.
never read an IGN review and I was like, oh, this is from this person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to agree with them because I know their taste, kind of thing. Which I feel like we've maybe even talked about this before, where I kind of wish that the way reviews were done on these big sites is that there'd be like two reviews always. One from someone that normally doesn't play this genre, and one from
Mm.
someone that is like a purist for the genre. And then they were kind of side by side with two separate scores. Um, I don't know. That's kind of maybe too hard to do, I guess. But
I
it,
don't think so. Probably for them, it's not hard to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
But a man can dream. So yeah, this is wild though. I mean, too many cheese references in a world of mice, as it says, is
Listen.
it's
You
wild.
know.
It's like going to a water park and saying like you got too wet or something. Like what? I just
I mean,
don't
I haven't played
understand.
the game, but I hope at one point they go, "Oh, we're gonna do Gouda Cop and Bad Cop,"
Yeah,
or something like that. you
yeah,
know?
that's how it should be in a game
Yeah.
like that. Wild,
But
wild.
anyway, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I thought it was worth talking about. I mean, like IGN, I don't know. I never really took any of their stuff seriously, especially with like, I mean, personally, I always thought that they would glaze the Marvel movies. Like it was
Yeah,
just like it was almost like they didn't even write a review. They just put out it's a 9. It's a 9?
right. Yeah,
Like
and that's also. I was trying to see if I could find that Winrose review, but people brought that up as well, where they're like, "You gave the Call of Duty last year like an 8 out of 10."
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what are you doing? Like, clearly, it's not an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be, a like click.
Yeah,
That's what's
it's all
driving these opinions is like how many clicks could it get, right? The
yeah.
shame. Yeah.
So yeah, kind of interesting. Honestly, probably good for mouse PI for hire, to be honest, like in the end of the
Yeah.
day, because it's more press and whatever. Because then when something like that happens, people swing harder the other way, right? They're like,
Yeah.
no, the game's amazing, whatever. I love cheese. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's the best. Every game should have cheese references.
Yeah. And
So
obviously a really just good marketing opportunity for Mouse PI for hire if they're able to capitalize on like, making uh, you know, their next DLC called Too Much Cheese or something like that, or like just
yeah.
putting out like social posts that reference it, kind of like tongue in cheek. I also like whenever these sort of things happen, I what game I always think of is Dead Cells because that's
Oh yeah.
IGN plagiarized their review of Dead Cells,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean, Dead Cells is a great game, but blew it up way
Oh
bigger
yeah.
than I think the devs even, were expecting. So, yeah, at the same time, right? I hate these reviews, but you bring up a good point. I'm happy Mouse PI is probably getting, some sales out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, which actually reminds me, there's another story that I wanted to bring up. Um, and it's about something we covered last week, Graveyard Keeper. I don't know if you saw this, but
Mm-hmm.
they were giving away Graveyard Keeper, the first one, for free.
For free. Yeah.
And it ended up generating, I believe, over $250,000 in DLC revenue because they gave away the game for free.
Wow.
And obviously they have a second game coming out. And then it also generated almost 500,000 wish lists for the second game. So
That's great.
this is like, yeah, as the title says here, a masterclass in marketing where it's a time limited, free, free to claim kind of thing. And then obviously if the game is great, people are going to buy DLC from it. And since you have a sequel coming out, people are going to, wish list the sequel if they like the first game. A lot of games could be doing this, right? I mean, Subnautica 2 is supposed to be coming out. Give away Subnautica 1 for free for like 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
But I just thought this was so cool because I haven't played, I did claim Graveyard Keeper, haven't played it yet, but I mean, that is a huge difference maker for an indie studio. So very, very cool stuff here from their team.
Yeah. I played it a little bit when it came out, so like I actually want to hop back in because I was able to get the free one as well. I am excited for the second one, so yeah, it's awesome. Love to see stuff like this, and yeah, it honestly makes so much sense. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, your second game's coming out, it's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
how do we get people to play the first game or to get excited for the second game? Well, it's like you got to get them to play the first game. It's like,
Yeah.
well, the people that already were going to play it had already bought it, and that's just what it was. And it's been out now, so like, there's no real feel bad if we were like, it's free now. It's been
Yeah.
out for like 6 years, so I think it's a cool move. Now, Winrose
Yes.
tripled its Steam players in a week.
It
Is this
did.
is this coming off the tail end of the Triple I initiative?
So I think this is a separate. I mean, it was part of Triple I, but I think this is a separate thing from the Triple I initiative. Like, I don't think they're really capitalizing on the momentum there as maybe in the beginning, but now I feel like it's just the momentum of the game itself. But I just wanted to call this out because I kept seeing alerts or, news articles. Oh, Winrose hit 50,000 concurrent players, 100,000 concurrent players. Last one I saw, over 200,000 concurrent players for Winrose, beating out a bunch of games that have way bigger budgets that uh, you know, should have higher player counts. And yeah, just want to call it out. It's a $26 game, you know, over 1 million copies sold so far, over 200,000 concurrent players, all within a week. And the biggest thing they just need to do now is keep the momentum going, capitalize on it, make sure you're releasing things in a tight enough window where people still care. There's other survival games where they don't do that. RuneScape Dragon Wilds, for example, just releases things way too, it takes way too long to release things for that game. So I'm hopefully they can kind of keep up with the momentum here. But yeah, just I keep seeing stories about it. I don't know if it's going to get any higher than this. This is a lot for a survival
Hmm.
game in general, but still really cool. And wanted to call it out since they are a small team, and I'm sure that they're stoked about it.
Listen, pirates are big. Like when something comes out that's pirate themed that's good,
Yeah.
people latch onto it. Like they're really hungry for it. I mean, I mentioned, Flesh and Blood put out a pirate set like last year, and it was one of the biggest sets of they've ever put out. Like it increased their player count like multiple folds, right?
Yeah.
So like just people love pirate stuff. Obviously, got like One Piece is another example. People love One Piece. They love pirates. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean it's still like holding strong. I think there's gonna be another movie.
Yeah.
People like pirates, and fair play. I mean, it's cool. Pirates are fun, right? They're a little bit campy, but like they can be kind of serious as well, and like you can do like really cool stuff, and everybody wants to be on a pirate ship,
Yeah.
so makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, pretty cool stuff. And this is also the article just kind of goes into like how, um, Crimson Desert came out, had a pretty good
Mm-hmm.
reception. Another game called Pragmata also came out. I haven't really looked into that one, but it just seems like people are hungry for new IPs as well.
Oh yeah.
So they kind of give this one a almost like a second look when you hear people talking about a new IP and it being really good. Like, I know I look up that stuff where I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of this game. Let me see if it's for me. I think that's what's happening with Winrose as well. But um, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff going on in the indie space. It's been a big year already for indies. So we're only halfway, not even halfway through the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I love seeing new IPs get some stuff going, because we kind of got into the slop of just like remakes, reboots.
Yeah.
And we're still in it. We're not far away from it, but that's I think why people are so hungry for it. Now, next week we're gonna be reviewing Vampire Crawlers. Very excited for it. Listen, I mean, it's gonna take the game being somehow janky for us to not at least give it a decent review.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Let's if it's just like the demo and nothing more, I'm gonna be pissed. But
Yeah.
if there's more, who knows? We'll see. Just tune in next week. We have some listener questions. These come from our star listeners. We choose them and they send us questions. It's very cool. First one comes from Capolo, with a real curveball. What is an object that makes you happy when you look at it?
Um, I'm gonna choose not to say any person here. I would just say my daughter. But an object that I look at that makes me happy. I mean, the Thor. I
Very cool.
guess. I'm like, it's cool this even exists, you know. Um, that's pretty cool. I don't know. What about you? Hot dog,
Um,
maybe?
hot dogs, hot dogs. I love hot dogs. Pork roll for sure.
Yeah.
I like a couple weeks ago, I came across this guy who's like kind of in the same industry to me, and he was like, "I got something for you. You want to make a trade?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll give you some beer." He gave me an orb that you when you look into
Is this was this guy like in an alley somewhere with a trench coat or something?
he was a wizard. It's an orb, and when I look into it, I see my greatest desires and them
Oh,
coming to fruition. So, the orb, but also I don't know, my house, like kind of yeah, it's nice. I
yeah.
get to live here.
Yeah.
It's shelter. That's cool.
That is cool.
Um,
You know, I always think about that when it rains and I'm just like sitting in my house. I'm just like, man, I'm so grateful I got a roof, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
roofs are good,
Yeah, they are. So that's a good
and you
one.
got to replace them, and then they're expensive,
Yeah.
but worth it when the rain comes. Bags asks, are there any games you guys review that you wish you could go back and change your score?
Ooh,
Ooh, I don't
that's
know.
tough because that would mean that a game would need to have an update. I'm thinking like a low score up to a high score. I guess it could be the other way around, where if it's a game that you want to lower your score on. But
Uh-huh.
um, I don't know if there's anything that comes to mind that I would want to increase my score on. I kind of like, when I give a score, I'm like, well, that's what I was thinking in the moment, and that's what I'm going to give. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Unless there was a major update, and maybe I would change it based on that. But um, maybe the only one, I'm just looking at a list of our games, like Sulfur. I feel like if I went back and played Sulfur now, I gave it an on sale. I might give it a steal
Mm-hmm.
because I know they made a bunch of updates. I do kind of keep up with that game a little bit because I watch some streamers play it. But um, maybe Sulfur would be one that I might bump up a little bit if I went back and played it and enjoyed the updates. But yeah, I don't know. What about you? Anything come to mind?
Um, I think I'd probably go lower on Goons,
Okay.
right? The replayability wasn't really there. Um, I could see myself revisiting No Rest for the Wicked and giving it a higher score, even though I did give it a steal. I think I think in looking back, Ballionaire was probably like a low certified fresh juice
Okay.
because I played more of that and I had a lot of fun with it. I think probably that one I was being a little bit too critical, or like I think I was being appropriately critical, but like I think it fits the criteria, I think, for me of a certified fresh juice in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
But yeah, those are the real ones that I think, like looking back, I mean, I'm not really coming up on a lot of stuff. Maybe Archaeogen might have been a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And
What
then
about Oh Dear? Would you go lower
no.
on that? I gave it a spoiled milk. You gave it a candy
I wouldn't
crush.
go lower on it. I think it
Okay.
definitely served its purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like yeah, that's probably where I'm at. Like me I mean like I could see a world where I come up on Ball X Pit as I play more of it on mobile.
Yeah.
So yeah, good
That's
question
the
though.
thing
It's
too.
tough.
Yeah, I feel like some of these games I might change my score if they were available on mobile, right? Because I feel like that that is a different category of enjoyment if you're able to just pop open a mobile game wherever you are and play a little bit. Like Gambonanza is going to be coming out on mobile. I'm stoked for that it's coming
Oh,
out
dude,
at the same
it's
time
gonna be
as
great.
PC. Yeah, so I'm going to definitely be getting it on mobile. But yeah, That's a good question, Bags. We actually should do an episode where it's like a revisiting
Hmm.
episode where there's a game we know had a bunch of updates and we
Yeah.
can play it, then give it a re-review kind of and see if our scores do change. But it would have to be the right game where it did have significant updates that might change our opinion on it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Thinking like No Rest for the Wicked probably
yeah,
would have
especially
been
they
like a
got
good one.
co-op now. Yeah,
Hmm. But thanks for the question. Thanks for the question. That's going to bring us down to the rec room where we recommend something that perhaps is not an indie game. What are you recommending this week, Matt?
I'm recommending Winrows, of course. Yes, I looked at our previous rec rooms. I don't think I've recommended it when the demo was out. I don't think, but um, I'm just recommending it if you're into, it's not like super heavy in the survival side of things, but it is a survival game at the end of the day. But I think it's worth playing. It's it's a lot of fun right now, and honestly, one of my favorite parts is just getting in my boat, turning on the sea shanties, and just sailing around. It's something like when I played Valheim, I would just get in the boat, I'd load up Spotify, put on some sea shanties, and I just sail around. And I just love that, like getting lost sort of feeling in games. So I think it's really great for that. And I've put in, like I said, about 25 hours. And looking at the map, I probably have about 15% of the map like revealed so far. Now a lot of that's the ocean, obviously, because there's islands everywhere. But still, having a blast with it. And if you're interested in trying it out, I do have 2 extra keys, and I will be doing giveaways on my channels or in my Discord. I haven't decided yet, but if you are interested in that, be on the lookout for a giveaway, maybe even a fresh juice giveaway for Winrose. We'll see. We'll see. Just keep your eyes peeled. It's going to pop up
Ooh.
at some point in the near future.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am recommending a band, a duo called Angine de Poitrine, I think is how you pronounce it.
Okay.
But specifically, I put a YouTube link in our show notes. But their full performance on KEXP, I think, is probably the best way to kind of like get a feel for them. It is super wild stuff, and it
Oh, you
they do.
said you linked this. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah. This is they're like microtonal. They're doing some really interesting uh like well, they look funny. They have like a whole kind of get up, but they're doing cool stuff with time signatures and stuff like that. And it's one of the things. It's like I know it's good. Like usually I know something's like really good when I look in the comments of something and it's 50% people saying this is the coolest thing that I've ever seen and it's awesome, and then 50% people saying I hate this
Yeah.
and I want to die or whatever. So like, you know, sometimes I'm on one side or the other, but for this, I was like, this is so cool. And like, I just love what they're doing here, especially like with the costumes and stuff. So
Yeah.
watch the KEXP, a full performance from Angine de Poitrine, a duo out of Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, I think it's cool because I think that there's some artists and bands out there that dress ridiculous, but they're not, their music isn't that
They're not
interesting.
talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, the fact that they're delivering both here is I haven't listened to a lot of music just based on what you're saying, but
Hmm.
I remember listening to the clip and watching the clip that you had sent, um, you know, before the show and all that. But it, I was like, the second I saw it, I was like, oh, this is unique.
Hmm.
I've never seen anything like this just from like how they look, and then the music that they were playing as well. You could tell that they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
With
yeah.
the instruments and everything. So, and also it's super impressive. I can't imagine they can see that well,
No,
when
no,
they're
you can
playing these
see
things.
the drummers like is got like a spot for his eyes,
Yeah,
like where the mouth is supposed to be. But
yeah. So
um,
super talented, super
yeah,
impressive.
yeah, and a lot of people are talking about is like this is kind of like it normally wouldn't have been this popular because it's like kind of blown up. And like, how many views does this video have? Like,
11 million 2 months
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Yeah,
like that's so much for music like this, right? And
yeah.
a lot of people are saying it's like in a world where you can be on Spotify and it's just feeding you just like all these AI generated bands, right? People just want something they know is totally unique and like was not going to be created by some AI model. So
AI could never.
I don't think
Yeah,
they could. I
yeah.
don't think they could. But and yeah, it's very cool. So yeah,
It
check
is.
it out.
Yeah, cool, 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 cool.
But that's going to do it for the show, folks. I've been one of your hosts, Tommy Fresh. You can find me on all socials at Fresh Buds Pod. I have another podcast called Fresh and Buds, talk about Flesh and Blood trading card game. This week we have Taylor Crawford on. I've never had Taylor on. We've had conversations before, but this will be the first time we are potting together. That'll be fun. And you can find us on all socials at Fresh Juice Pod. Where can people find you, Matt?
Find me at Matty Gorm, GRM on the socials. Obviously posting Winrose content. So if you're interested, based on what I've said today, check out some of the videos. I got some beginner tips and all that stuff out there to hopefully get you started. But yeah, there we go.
There we